Hey guys, so for those of you that are trapped at home in quarantine and aren't able to come to school to learn with us in person, I wanted to go over the assignment that we did in class to help you stay caught up with everybody else. So essentially, we just did a quick practice that dealt with the schedules of reinforcement. And when you are determining whether an example is either fixed interval, fixed ratio, varied ratio, it's really important to look at it in a step-by-step way. So the first thing that I always ask myself is whether or not it is a consistent example or if it is a random example. So does it say every ... or does it indicate that you never know when it will occur? So if it is known, you would know that that is fixed. If you do not know, it seems intermittent, then you will then know that it is varied. The second step that I always look for is whether or not it is based on the number of correct responses or the amount of time that has passed. If it is based on the number of correct responses, then I know that it is going to be a ratio. If it is based on the amount of time that's passed, I know it'll be an interval. So let's do number one together. Paid $10 for every 20 puzzles solved. So the first thing I'm going to ask myself is, does it seem as though I always know when it'll occur, or will it take me by surprise? And in this case, I know up front that I'm going to be getting those $10 for every 20 puzzles that I solve. So I know it's going to be fixed. The second question I'm going to ask myself is this based on the amount of time that's passed or the number of correct responses? In this case, we know that it's looking for 20 puzzles solved. So I know that that's going to be a ratio. So the answer to number one would be fixed ratio. Now let's move down to number 5. Speed traps on highways. Our first question is asking ourselves, do we know when it'll occur, or will it be a surprise to us? Well, a speed trap is simply when a cop is parked somewhere and he gets you while you're speeding. And you don't know when that's going to happen. Nobody knows where they're going to be. Cops like to hide. They come out, they move, they put themselves somewhere else. So this is definitely going to be varied. The next question is it based on the amount of time that's going to pass, or is it the number of correct responses? Well, see, you're driving along and you don't know when you're going to see the cop again. You don't know if you'll see him at all the rest of the time that you're driving. So for number 5, I would say varied interval. Now let's skip down to number 11, getting a paycheck at the end of 2 weeks. Again, we're asking ourselves, do we know when it's going to occur, or will it be unpredictable? Well, we know it's going to be every 2 weeks, so that is going to be fixed. And because it is based on the length of time that has passed, we know it'll be an interval. So the answer to number 11 is fixed interval. Does this help you guys out so far? I really would encourage you to think about it in that type of process, determining whether or not it's fixed or varied first, and then determining whether or not you think it's based on the length of time, interval, or number of responses ratio. I do encourage you to try out all of these examples to see how well you do, and if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to send me an email, schedule a Zoom call with me or Google Meet, and otherwise I will be seeing you guys next week. Mr. Brinkman emailed out a schedule to us this morning, so I know for a fact that I will be seeing you guys on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Bye.